More and more accusations. Oh my God, this lawsuit isn't ending time soon. You're on the set of what's meant to be a heartfelt romance movie. Sweeping kisses, dramatic confessions, and maybe even some tears. But behind the cameras, the atmosphere feels less like love and more like a pressure cooker. That's the world that Blake Lively claims existed while working with Justin Baldoni on It Ends With Us. And now, with blockbuster lawsuits, public filings, and a March 2026 trial date looming, this hit film might end up being remembered for far more than its on-screen romance. In a blistering new court filing, Lively accuses Baldoni of trying to avoid accountability, calling the dismissal request from him and his team a brazen attempt to dodge responsibility for creating a toxic workplace. Grab your popcorn. Let's dig into this It Ends With Us saga, which truly never ends. When It Ends With Us hit theaters in August 2025, audiences expected a stirring romance adapted from a best-selling novel. What they didn't expect was a real-life scandal brewing behind the glitz. According to Lively, the glamour masked what she describes as a hostile work environment. Her complaint doesn't hold back. Lively alleged that during production, the environment soured quickly. She says coworkers made inappropriate remarks, commenting on the bodies of women, sharing stories about pornography addictions, and even pressuring cast and crew to disclose intimate personal details. At one point, things got so tense that Lively and her husband, actor Ryan Reynolds, reportedly demanded a stop to any nude content, commentary on her physique or late father, and further sex scenes beyond what she signed up for. But instead of addressing those complaints, Lively says the studio and Baldoni's team launched a coordinated smear campaign to discredit her, using social media manipulation, planted stories, and even online message boards to shape a narrative against her. In retaliation, Baldoni filed a $400 million countersuit claiming Lively was behind a plot to destroy his career and reputation. But in a major blow to him, the countersuit was dismissed, yet Lively's original claims remain active. The court has already penciled in a potential trial date for March 2026. On December 4, 2025, Lively's legal team hit back hard against Baldoni's attempt to toss out her lawsuit. In the filing, they accuse him of trying to shield himself by throwing the kitchen sink. According to the documents, Lively's team contends that Baldoni and his co-defendants ignored their own company policies when responding to her complaints, refusing to investigate, brushing aside concerns, and instead opting for a PR offensive aimed at silencing her. They emphasize that this is not a situation of creative differences or minor workplace friction. Rather, Lively argues it was a pattern, a toxic work environment where executive power was used to intimidate, harass, and retaliate. By filing for a summary judgment, Baldoni asked the courts to dismiss the case without letting a jury weigh in, essentially preventing Lively from having her day in court. Lively's pushback argues that such a move would deny justice and let powerful people evade accountability. At its heart, this lawsuit is about more than on-set discomfort or creative clashes. Lively is demanding that the court acknowledges the seriousness of her allegations, sexual harassment, retaliation, and a deliberate smear campaign to undermine her credibility. Her original complaint from December 2024 triggered a legal whirlwind. Baldoni responded with a high-stakes countersuit, and press coverage exploded. But the dismissal of the countersuit in mid-2025 provided a major ripple of hope for Lively, and now, with renewed filings, she's making it clear she won't let the case die quietly. In her latest filing, Lively's attorneys assert the record is strong. Testimony, documents, witness accounts. They argue the evidence collapses the defense's narrative. Of course, Baldoni and his lawyers aren't taking this lying down. They argue the accusations are false and claim Lively and her team are manipulating the narrative for attention. Baldoni's countersuit painted Lively's claims as part of a malicious and unforgivably public attempt to hijack control of the film and shift blame for its alleged shortcomings. The dismissal of his countersuit dealt him a blow, but the fight isn't over. Now, his legal team wants to prepare for a full court showdown, hoping to challenge not just the claims, but the credibility of witnesses, messages, and even public perception. If Lively wins, or even if the case ends in a high-profile settlement, it could encourage more actors, crew members, and industry workers to speak up. Right now, many might stay silent, fearing damage to their careers or reputation. A successful outcome could break that barrier. With a trial date on the horizon, here's what everyone's watching and what could make or break either side. Evidence and witness testimonies. Lively's team claims they have document after document, witness after witness. Will the courts allow these? Will juicy details, like alleged messages planning smear campaigns, come to light? Smear campaign allegations. If it's proven that Baldoni's camp engaged in coordinated efforts to discredit Lively, this could redefine what retaliation looks like in the entertainment world. Industry response. Will studios, agents, and other creatives step back or rally? The fallout could influence future casting decisions, trust levels, and even the kind of projects that get made. Whether you root for Lively, Baldoni, or simply for justice, something about this feels like a pivot. At a time when many industries are asking tough questions about power, consent, and workplace dignity, this case could reverberate far beyond red carpets and box office numbers. If Lively proves her claims, it won't just be about her or one film. It could change how sets are run, how stars speak up, and how we, as the audience, view what goes on behind the scenes. If she loses, it could send a chilling message about the cost of speaking out and embolden those who think fame protects them from accountability. Do you think Lively will win, or will Baldoni's defense hold up? What do you hope this case changes about how Hollywood handles harassment and power? Drop your thoughts, share this article, or tag someone who needs to see it. Let's keep the conversation going, because stories like these matter far beyond the screen.